Hello everyone, my name is Tom and welcome back to Best of the British Indies Talking Wrestling. This is episode 2 and I'm here with my second guest of the series, the owner and one of the masterminds behind Pro Wrestling Subjective, Steve Valentino. So Steve,
how you doing, people?
Thank you very much for joining me.
That's alright, pleasure.
I'm very much appreciate
well,
it. Well, worst thing can happen, this all goes out the drain, so. So, first thing to start off with, I think it's obvious, your biggest success story in your career so far has been Pro Wrestling Subjective, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because that is the newest promotion in the West Midlands, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I mean they pop up all the time, but as far as I'm aware as well, with the
well, it's certainly the newest one to gain as much attention as it has gotten, because it's very difficult to start a promotion and get off the ground. So how has that all been working out for you?
It's been a whole new journey. It's a very new experience for me.
Yeah.
It was something that I think a lot of us, even from when we're fans, and we've got our little figures, and we've got our ring, and we'll have our own little promotion.
Yeah.
And we put our little teams together, and like, well, they have similar outfits. Let's make them a team. You know, I think all of us, in some form or other, have played with the idea of what it'd be like. Well, if I had a promotion, I'd do this.
Yeah.
And the opportunity came because Danny Devine was going to start it, and then I sort of came on board to help him with it.
Yeah.
And then Dan decided to step away from it. It was a lot. It wasn't as much fun as playing with the figures for Dan.
Yeah. That's often the case, isn't it?
Yeah. Or when it becomes an actual sort of like you're actually dealing with the actual stress of the
owning a promotion,
pro wrestling, and and actually running it and doing it day to day. It can be. It's a lot. It's much different than when you're in the bedroom, but it's been fun. It's been great. It's been a great experience. It's been a test. It's been a real test. But I've learned a lot from it, and I feel like we're moving forward in the right way.
Well, I can say because I unfortunately wasn't there for the first show due to having other things going on. But from the shows that I've been, what I seem to find is that with every show of Pro Wrestling that I go to, there's always at least one person extra there than before, and it might be me losing count, but but that's a good sign because that shows you're growing.
Yeah,
and then again, like you said, it's difficult to, because we all fantasize about oh, they're doing that wrong. Especially with a larger promotion, we all say, oh, they're doing that wrong, I do this, and I make it the best promotion on the planet. And then it's different story when you come to actually actually opening up, isn't it?
It's very different. It's very different to go to actually realise, to actually be trying to do it and trying to make it work with people. And having new ideas, because I'm someone who likes to plan, and I like to plan far in advance, and I like to know where I'm going, and I think that's the main thing that I wanted to do it for. I've worked for a lot of different people around the Midlands, and there was a lot of times when I'd turn up and I didn't know what I was doing, which is fine. I don't need to know all the booker's plans. Yeah. But I'd like to know that we're going somewhere. Yeah. Rather than, in a lot of times we'd turn up, we'd all think we were doing one thing, then it changes to something else. Yeah. Then there's something else, then there's something else, and there was no story for us to connect to. Yeah. And if we as performers, like for me, I don't not to sound too. So here's the thing about arty wrestling. But like for me as a performer, if I've got something to sink my teeth into in a storyline, that's what helps me develop as a performer.
It's all about structure, isn't it? I mean, you've got to not only know what you're doing, but know where you could be going, haven't you? So it's really important to have that structure when starting a business. Yeah. You can't start blindly and just wing it all the way.
As a business, you're right. I mean, that makes perfect sense. But I was just thinking, I mean, I'd only thought about like just artistically, really, that if I know that I'm going to do a little series with someone, and I'm going to be working with them regularly, and we're going somewhere, well then it means I can throw something in the first match that then comes back in the third, and in like with like any acts of any plays and stuff where something happens in the first and then it gets revealed later on. Yeah. If you can, because I come from like a drama art, like acting type training, so I think that's where a lot of the motivation for me comes. So that's why I just sort of wanted to see if I could do that and give the boys and the girls something a bit extra, to sort of pay them back for all the bumps that they're taking and stuff, and the work they're doing for me, well, then I want to repay them by giving them an opportunity to grow as a performer and grow.
Yeah,
as,
I'm gonna say it's a very much. You can't be selfish in this business, can you? If you're gonna be selfish, you're not gonna get anywhere. There are people who are out for themselves.
There's a few terrible examples.
There are,
of that,
yeah. There are some very bad examples of that, but.
Yeah.
But as you have proven with Pro Wrestling Subjective and the other promotions you've been performing with, again, being selfish is going to take away from the quality of it, because it's also evident to me as a wrestling fan when I go to a show, and because you can tell when there's some maybe a bit of heat backstage, because it will often, well, I find it anyway, reflect on the performers in the ring.
I agree, I think so. I think that's definitely the kind of, I think it's so important to have a good atmosphere in the back.
Yeah.
Because I do think, I do think it's, you're going to be spending, you've got to trust the people that
you're going to be spending a lot of time with them, aren't you?
There's that as well, and that's definitely the kind of vibe, and I do like that it's the kind of vibe I wanted to cultivate at Subjective. And I think we're succeeding in doing it. It helps that, it is me and my mum that run it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't get more family than mum and son.
Yeah, no, that is a epitome of a family promotion, isn't it?
She is. And she's all in. Mummy Valentino is running the merch, and we take it in turns. It's that's been a process for us as well. But I think there's definitely something I want to cultivate and have that sort of vibe and that sort of friendliness, and I think we are doing that. There's some bad elements that have been sort of flushed out. There was a few issues at the start with a few people.
Oh yeah.
Paul Desai I'd spoken to. They didn't change, so then they weren't on the shows. So
oh yeah.
I want everyone to be able to turn up. I want people to be excited.
Yeah.
I don't want that tension. I can't control everyone.
Yeah.
I can try.
You can try, but it's a case of you can't control them, but you can do your best to make them want to do it.
Yeah.
So that's the key. You got to make it enjoyable, because if it's not enjoyable, they're not going to want to turn up for you, are they? That's the key, isn't it? Really. Yeah. So you mentioned before that Pro Wrestling Subjective was initially started off by Danny Devine, aka Dan Barnes, for you people who believe in the you don't believe in kayfabe, but so you've known Dan for a long time, I'm assuming. So what's it been? Because I would imagine, as a close friend of Dan, you've been doing a lot of travelling with him in wrestling. So what's it like? Not I won't say travelling with people, but travelling with someone who you've become that close to.
It's cool, man. It's a shame because because of his injury, so he's actually stopped.
Oh yeah, that was a very hard hit, wasn't it?
It sucked, man, because he was on his way to retiring anyway, and we were going to give him a really big send off at Subjective.
Yeah.
And we weren't able to do that, unfortunately. But we'll still do something. It's wrestling, so you get so if there's a chance to make it a spectacle, then we're going to make a spectacle.
Yeah. So you hear that, guys. Preventers to be there. And I would advise all of their shows, because you never know when that's going to be, so just make sure you're there for that.
I'll let you know when it will be.
He'll let you know. Follow their Facebook page.
I'm sure we'll add links at the bottom.
Yeah.
But we've I've known Dan. So I've known Dan since about 2000. Hold on, how long have I been doing this now? Yeah, so I've been doing. Yeah, so I think it was like 2006. I met Dan.
Blimey.
So really long time.
A very long time. Well over 10 years then.
Yeah. So because I started when I was 14, so that's 14 years ago now. So
yeah.
And then sort of I got to know Dan a little bit, because he likes to retire and then come back and then retire. Like most wrestlers, they just can't let it go.
They can't make up their mind, can they?
Until their body tells them.
Yeah,
and then they still chug along.
Because it's a case of you suffer an injury, you think, oh, well, this could be really bad, so I think I'm going to stop now to avoid aggravating it. Then you think, oh, not bad, I thought I'll come back again, injury again, oh, retire again. So
basically,
a bit of back and forth, isn't it?
I think, but Dan's a great example of what I love, what I've gained from wrestling. That isn't just on the wrestling side. Dan, having that friendship with Dan, and having that brotherhood that you get from it. From seeing someone and doing what we do, and having to be in there with someone and having to trust them.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to do it for me, anyway. But the only way to put on the best show possible.
Yeah.
Is to have unlimited trust with the
Yeah,
person
very
you're
strong
working with.
trust. Because if you can't trust someone, you're not going to get anywhere, are you?
Yeah, you can't, and you need to be able to. And me and Dan have always really loved that sort of creative side of it more than just like, hey, let's do moves and hit each other. You know, like I'm not that guy. I'm not a moves guy. Do you know what? I said it. I'm going to own it. I said it. I'm not a moves guy. I'm a story guy, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
And that's
well, story is very important in pro wrestling, isn't it? It's
yeah,
vital.
Yeah, I think there's. I mean, people. I think everyone has a different stories to tell, and I think I just. And Dan's someone who I always found. We were on the same page creatively when it came to those things.
Yeah.
So we've had different incarnations of ourselves as a team. We were team VD, which is Valentino and Devine, but obviously
very creative,
really out there. But VD, and we were really good at that. Then I was his stylist for a while, so I was Stefan Valentino.
Yeah.
When I used to be a hairdresser, so I was like, as with everything, well, if that's real life, let's bring it in. I would have been perfect for Vince in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
All the jobs I'd have been his hairdressers. So the stylist works, and then we've just done other things where we've been like sort of we've flipped the roles, good guy, bad guy. Dan's always been someone that I've really enjoyed working with. So it is a shame to see him.
It is a shame, yeah, but he has given us a lot of things to hold on to in terms of memories, especially with his. Because even though you did say he isn't necessarily one of the owners of Professing, so it's subjective, he's still been there for all the shows as far as I know. So he's still.
I wouldn't be doing this if he hadn't had the brainchild of subjective. I wouldn't have got involved in this side of it. I would have just been another person sitting in the back going, do you know what you should do? And now I've found, unsurprisingly, now that I'm actually doing it, I'm a lot quiet, actually. I was going to say I'm a lot quieter at shows, but I'm not.
No, well...
I'm really not.
No, well, sometimes you're not. I'm going to say it all depends on the situation, doesn't it? But, so pro wrestling subjective was not your leap into wrestling. Obviously, you've been working shows since before subjective. So how has that been for you working? Because you've been doing it for a very long time now, haven't you? As you said.
I had. So when I was younger, I definitely didn't make the most of the opportunities I was being given. I didn't put the work in the gym. I wasn't training as much as I should have been.
Yeah.
And then I had some personal things happen. With someone who was very like my back. Doesn't really matter, but someone who was also linked to wrestling, who's no longer with us. He was my tag team partner, and after that happened, I just couldn't really do it anymore.
Yeah.
It wasn't really for me, so I stepped away from it until I could. Until I dealt with all of that, I wasn't really strong enough to go back to wrestling.
Yeah.
And then after about 6-7 years away from it, then I was like, I think I want to come back.
Yeah.
And then it was always that.
There's always that
I
sort
started watching it again, and I was like, God, I love this shit. Yeah. And I was like, maybe I can do it again. And then I was like, I can do it again. Come on, Steve. And I was like, do you know what? You've got a mustache now. You could definitely be a pirate. And I was like, I can put my hook up.
Yeah.
That's it. I've got it sorted. I was like,
that game, it really did take off, didn't it? It's
really
become a very well-known game, especially without it's a case of the first time that I saw you. I think it was at either, I can't remember which one, either Venom Wrestling or the West Midland, which is no longer active. But let's not go into that. But that was the first time. That was the first time I saw it, so I had to mention that.
Yep, that is true.
And I could see, how just enjoying the game. You were really enjoying the game. You were really getting into it. All the whole pirate thing.
It's because I'm like, it's not a gimmick. Like it's just how I live my life. I like drinking rum, and I run around trying to pretend that I'm free and independent and don't have to take anything from anyone, but I mean obviously I do because I live in this world. But yeah, man, just as soon as I did it, as soon as I threw that hook up and the kids went, I was like, oh, this is it. This is what I was missing, because before I was always a bad guy. I was this little whiny heel. With this emo express was my team. And
I love that.
I loved it. It was amazing.
You remember Express? That's the best I've ever heard.
So we came out to Teenagers by My Chemical Romance. Either that or Black Parade and stuff. And we come out and they'd have like 5 scarves on, big glasses, hairspray, skinny jeans. The ref waited for me to take off every bit of clothing. Just douchebag, man. Yeah. But I loved it, and I loved pissing people off, making them be so mad, and it was great. But now, I was alright. I was never a good face because I didn't really know what I was supposed to do, and I didn't really have a proper character. And I think that's what's missing. Well,
I think as a face, as I think with the biggest thing with the biggest difference between being a face and being a heel is how you address the crowd and B, what you do in the matches. So as long as you got that down, you're pretty much sorted.
That's it, man. Once I go out and I'm like, come on, kids, pirates, and then some of the adults think it's kind of cool as well.
I mean, at the many shows that I've seen about, obviously the kids are very eager to get by the whole hooks up thing, but you do see a fair few adults in as well. That's because it's just a fun thing to do. It's not necessarily targeted. I mean, it is a bit of a kiddie thing, but it's just fun to just get involved in it with the hooks up. It's just fun.
That's it. I think that's what it's all about for me. It's giving people a chance to be involved. And I found a way to do that. So when I did that, the first time I came back, I remember I was so shaking before I went out, and it was at VWF, it was in Stourbridge. I'm the champion there now, just like whatever. And then we were there, and I remember being so nervous before I went out, and I remember once I got out there, and they started, they went with me straight away, and I was just like, there was a few people who hadn't seen me. They didn't announce that I was coming back. I was like a mystery thing.
Oh yeah.
And there's a few people who were there and still remembered me from the first time around.
Oh yeah.
So when they went, Steve Valentino, and I heard this pop, and it wasn't crazy. It wasn't like some earth-shaking pop. But for me in that moment, it might as well have been a stadium full of people.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say, I mean, it just shows they remembered you. Yeah. That's the biggest thing, isn't it?
And it just, I heard it, and I was just like, they remember. They
love me. They love me. They really love me.
Yeah, basically. And then I went out and I was just like, and I hugged a few of them, and I was just like, how can they remember me from that long ago? And I was just like, God, this is what wrestling is. It's creating memories that I'll forget stuff, but I'm also responsible for creating memories that people never forget. Yeah. And that's what I love about doing it. And then so it's developed from there, and then I started getting a few more bookings. And then it's been going really well. Like VWF Venom Wrestling Federation in Stourbridge has been great with me. And I went on. I was undefeated, and then I won the belt. Yeah. And won that nearly. I think it was 6 shows ago. I think it'll be 6. I think I've defended about 6 times now. Yeah. Something like that. Anyway, I mean, it's all
Yeah. So it's been a very successful journey for you, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's been more for me. Obviously, we know what the situation is. We understand what the deal is, but what that is that's a company putting faith in me. And saying that I know that you can lead this show, and it's saying that I know that you can make sure that when you go out there, you're going to give 100. They know that I'm going to give everything that I can for those people. Yeah. Especially in that building, because that's a place that was where I first came back, and it's special for me.
Trust is a very important thing to have, isn't it? I mean. For the promoter, it's important for them to have someone they know can trust. But for you especially, to know the promoters are putting their trust in you to lead their shows for, that's got to be a really confident. That's got to be a confidence booster, hasn't it? It's got to be a massive boost of confidence for you going forward.
Yeah, it definitely was. It's definitely, I think, because I'm sort of repaying it back. Like I'm now working harder than I'm in the best shape I've ever been. Yeah. And I'm not even close to finished. Yeah. And I'm working hard in that regard. And that's it's helping me move forward. I've just sorted some stuff out. I haven't told anyone this actually, so I'm telling you now. Okay. I've just sorted out, and we're going to be going over to Orlando in June. Oh yeah. I'm doing 3 weeks out, 3.5 weeks out there. There's a few different promotions that I've spoke to, And so I'm going to be going out and doing a little tour over there in June.
Oh, that'd be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
That'd be a really good experience, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
it's just been amazing. It's like because I want it. It's something I've always wanted. I mean, it's just a chance to go out there and make a whole another side of the world fans of the captain.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. That's what the plan is, and so it's very exciting this year. So far it's been. It's going to be a good year, 2000.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, gonna say it will be a very good year. I've got a feeling about that. So, you mentioned that when you first when you first started with wrestling, you weren't really taking it all that seriously, were you? So,
I thought I was. This thing I thought I was.
Yeah.
Because I was like, but I was one of those kids. I've never been like a gym guy. I've never been like an exercise guy. I was
Don't
quite
worry,
a chubby
look at me,
teenager.
mate.
Yeah, like. I was very much drawn to wrestling because it was wrestling, not because, hey, it's such a super athletic contest, let's do. Like, I was just like, oh, look at these characters, I really love it. And I knew that I could do that. I just thought, so I was like, well, I can do the moves and I can do the characters, so why do I need to go to the gym? Like, because you look like shit, Steve. That's why, because you look terrible. And no one buys, like, people, it didn't matter so much for me because I was a chicken shit heel. Yeah. Who everyone loved to see get beat up, and I was always a good bumper. I was always like a bumping machine, and that's why I'd always get put in there with bigger guys. It still happens now. Yeah. I love bumping for big guys. And I love selling, like I've always done that, but obviously I sell different now to when I was not trying to get sympathy. Now I'm like, come on kids, yeah. Whereas before I was like, oh, got me again, proper pantomime shit, but it worked. So like I definitely wasn't taking it. I thought I was. I genuinely, if you told me then that I wasn't taking it seriously,
I think you would have been quite.
I'd have been
pissed
like,
off, wouldn't you?
Actually, I've watched countless indie shows. Yeah. So I actually watched Ring of Honor. So I really do take it seriously.
Okay, now I can't speak for wrestling because I'm not a professional wrestler, obviously, but I am guilty of this. I will confess that. Is that going to independent shows, despite the fact that I have absolutely no experience, at all, I still think, I'm a real guru in this kind of thing now because I go to indie shows. And of course, that isn't the case, and I have now come to the realization that that's not the case. I'm not, I'm not all knowing with independent wrestling. But if you tell me when I first got into it, I would have said, oh yeah, mate, I know everything there is to know about independent wrestling. But
yeah, I know everything. I've got a subscription to Ninja. So that's it. That's how a lot of people think about it.
Yeah, but that reality check for you must have been invaluable because I think that really showed you that you needed to sort of really step up your game and put more dedication into it because the thing is, wrestling, it's not just it is a bit of a way of life, isn't it? It's a massively it's a sport you got to sacrifice for, isn't it? So
I think it was out of respect. It was out of respect for the business.
Yeah.
That I think it was being away from it made me have time to look back, and then I missed so much. Yeah. Because in the time that I was away, from British wrestling, from when I was doing it, when I first started. Yeah. It was, and there's still a lot of people out there who are still doing this, but it was a bunch of people who are trying to make money off trainees and trying to just put on a rinky-dink show. Yeah. And they don't care about the damage they're doing to the business. Yeah. Because they put on shitty little shows and it turns people off. Or it makes people think that that's just what British wrestling is.
Yeah, I have seen that a few times.
And that in itself damages the progression it can make. But that's all it was when I was first starting. And then, that's all I saw. That's all I was exposed to. I shouldn't say that actually, because there was definitely a lot of companies that were doing it well. Yeah. But just they weren't getting the exposure. But then the people that I was around, they weren't doing it with as much respect, which is part of why I wasn't pushing myself. Yeah. Whereas now, when I was away, you had all these companies that bubbled up. All the people who were just starting when I was starting. Or been doing it for a little bit longer than me before, who loved it, saw how shit it was, and was like, for not all of them, again, and I don't mean this is just my experience of what the shows that I was seeing. because I was never, I never got to like the next level.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of guys that looked around and went, it can be better than this. And they went, I love this, and it doesn't get the respect it deserves, and I can make it better. And I think that's what happened. I think everyone grew up and matured.
Yeah.
And then in turn, they took that they matured. The business matured with them. And then you only have to look at the way the eyes that are on the UK now and how hot the scene is.
Yeah, it's exploding, isn't it? It's absolutely on fire.
Man. Like,
I mean, you got British wrestlers competing on WWE now in New Japan. It's.
I was at Progress on Sunday, so I was there.
Yeah.
I went just turned up, help with the ring, did like some of the security and stuff.
Yeah.
Just because you gotta,
yeah.
You never know who you're gonna see and meet.
Yeah.
You've got to be there.
Yeah,
so you've got to be there to get there.
Yeah,
you know?
I say you never know what opportunities might arise out of nothing.
Exactly, so. And I did it last time they were here. I'll probably do it next time, and then
yeah.
Anyway, but I was there, and on that you've got Pete Dunne from Birmingham.
Yeah.
WWE UK champ. You've got Ospreay's there. Will Ospreay's there, and he's got the New Japan
Junior heavyweight champion
belt,
yeah.
and then you got then Travis Banks rocking the Progress belt, and Travis was awesome, and I was watching it, and it was like that's the amount of people that are just watching, and have eyes on the UK scene because people have busted their asses to make it get the respect it needs.
Absolutely.
And with that, in turn, that motivates me because I want to be part of it.
Yeah.
And I want to be like helping it progress, not hindering it and not dragging it down. And that's what makes me work so hard. That's why I put so much time and effort into Subjective, because the world does not need another indie fed. It does not need, and the West Midlands. Well, it's always been oversaturated. Always been oversaturated. But I want to do it differently.
Yeah.
And when I say differently, I don't mean reinventing the wheel. I just mean do it with strong storylines and strong characters.
Yeah.
And have people developing. And I want people to be able to watch, to come and invest in us as we grow as a company.
Yeah.
And we make our own stars and we all grow within it.
Yeah. So because it's a business that like you said, with Travis Banks and Pete Dunne and Will Ospreay and all the other British stars, I mean, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Travis Banks, and all the other British stars.
Yeah.
I mean, this time a few years ago, they were. Well, maybe the biggest shows they were doing were maybe Progress, or I mean, to be fair, they're still very big shows, but they're not on the global scale that they're doing now. And I can guarantee you that, and I'm not just talking about those three in particular. I'm talking about just British wrestling in general. That this time a couple of years ago, no one would have predicted the astronomical growth it's seen.
I don't think you could have, even by looking at the talent, and even by going, well, they're amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah.
There was still to predict that it would blow up, to predict that you'd have Pete Dunne and Tyler having a match tonight on an NXT takeover show. You're never gonna, you wouldn't even, because that I think the pathway wasn't clear, but I think even with that pathway, right, so even if you think, okay, so now you go to Fight Club, you go to Progress, and then they've got, maybe that can help you get to NXT.
Yeah.
Even if that's one way, and even if that's the potential pathway, it's not as simple as that, and in no way am I saying it's that simple. But even if you thought that, then you look at another example, and you look at Ospreay, and you look at Skull, and then you're like, well, killing it in Japan and ROH, and it's well, that's a whole nother pathway, and you've got I don't think anyone, I think because we've been this little tiny island that does great stuff,
but no one really pays attention to us because I think it's a case, I can't speak for certain, but I think it's a case of a lot of bigger promotions. I'm not going to name names, but don't worry. They look at the United Kingdom, they think that's a tiny island. Yeah, they'll have some independent wrestling there, but they won't have anything major, so they never bother to look at us. And then when Triple H looks and sees and not just Triple H, but Ring of Honor and New Japan, and when they look at Britain and see that even though we're this tiny island,
I think it's
the amount of talent we've got in our country is just through the roof.
It's phenomenal.
It's ridiculous.
I think it's as well. I think it's an absolute testament, and I think we owe the promoters such a debt of gratitude, because you can have all the talent in the world, but if people aren't getting behind that talent, promoting that talent, and promoting shows that draw like they do, because that's what I think it is. I mean, I don't know what the mindset works, but as a huge business like the companies are, they're going to look at numbers, and they're going to look at hype, and they're going to look at buzz, and they might look and it's gone from being indie shows that have buzz, because that's always been the case, that you're going to have these indie shows. I mean, like, always going to have like an indie show that has this next up and come on it. But it's gone from, it's not just that anymore. It's not just, where's the stars of the future who are having great matches in front of no one. You've got Progress are doing Wembley, man.
I know they're doing,
and that's all a testament to how hard the promoters have been working. And making their brand and build and making people invest in it. And then they invest in the and then it makes the wrestlers even bigger stars. And it makes the eyes. That just what gets even more eyes on it.
It's all a really, really beneficial circle, isn't it? These promotions start out small. You know, they get talents. There aren't necessarily global. Don't mean to say they're bad, just that they haven't got the name out, and then that sort of grows, isn't it? And then the more the promotion grows, the more the talent in it grows, and then the more the talent grows, and it's just
that's exactly it.
And it's a really good circle that we've got going on within wrestling.
It's beautiful at the moment, and that's why it's. I think that's something that we shouldn't forget. That how hard everyone's worked, and how much it's changed, and in such a massively positive way, and I think that's something that we shouldn't ever forget, in spite of anything that's going on. It should never be forgotten. That there's hundreds and thousands, probably, when you take the numbers of people working to make this scene build and grow. And that's what makes it so beautiful, and that's why I want to be part of it. That's why I'm proud to be part of it. That's why I'm proud to have Subjective, and that's why I work as hard as I do with Subjective to make it, to not just be out there and to be just going, it's hot right now, let's make some money off it. That's not what I'm doing. I'm working hard to repay that, to help repay the debt and help build the scene. And I think that's something that's that is, I think, a really
good mentality to have, because it's a business where you've got to be giving back, and you can't be selfish in it. If you're out if you're doing it, I mean, obviously, you know, you do need to be doing things, you know, that will benefit you.
Of course.
But you can't just ignore everything else that's going on.
You've got to build it up. You know,
and I think you've got a really good thought in a really good mentality in the way you're approaching this.
Thank you.
Welcome. So, obviously, you didn't just start watching wrestling and then think, I'm going to do this. So how did you transition from being, because I can't say for sure, but I would imagine you started out as a fan and then transitioned to investor. So how did that happen? Was that a sort of snapped in? Was that a sort of, you know, that's a really clever thing to do, I want to do it, or was that more sort of growing desire to do what they do?
It was well, I've always been an attention-seeking type person. I'm in a band. I do stand-up comedy. I do write some poetry.
You're very out there person.
Let's call it that.
To put it,
I'm just a very I've always loved performing. I've always been that guy. In all the plays at school, I was always like
opposite of me then.
I was always like there's the stage, darling, it's my time. And I've just always been like that.
Well, I mean, that's been very helpful, hasn't it? In the,
man, it works.
wrestling, yeah.
It works. There's no room for well, I mean, obviously, once you're out and once you step through that curtain, you cannot be shy.
Yeah.
And I definitely, I've always been that way. And then I love wrestling when I was little. I remember Sting was one of my first memories. Blonde, bleached blonde hair.
Oh yeah.
Makeup. Face paint.
Oh yeah, that was before he became the sort of dark, the franchise, the icon Sting.
That was when I first got introduced to it.
Yeah.
And then I sort of I carried on loving it through all the Attitude Era and stuff, and then sort of died off a little bit. I started just when like Jackass and Dirty Sanchez was like this big thing.
Yeah.
Me and my boys used to just do stupid shit to each other for people's entertainment.
Yeah.
I was like blind in my eye for 3 days because I poured vinegar in it and just in front of a crowd of people with like a Nurofen syringe. I was like bang, I literally had to go to the hospital.
Oh,
whole nonsense. Even then, so even before I started wrestling, I was very much willing to put my body on the line.
Yeah.
for a cheap
pop. So I imagine it was a very easy thing to. Oh well, I'm already doing stupid things now, so I may as well do it in front of a crowd.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I was doing it we was doing stupid shit in the playground to get pops anyway. So then we started backyard wrestling as we all do, and then my mate found out about his training school. At NWA Hammerlock, so when we travelled down with 14, we travelled down to Kent. It took us like 5 hours to get there, and we were like, "Oh my god, this is going to be the best."
Yeah.
We got there, and it's like it was just like army barracks that was just. Well, it wasn't falling apart, but it was definitely. It wasn't quite the. We had an image, we had a dream of what this training school was going to be.
Yeah, and it didn't quite live up to that.
No, not quite. And we got there, and everyone was already there, and everyone was so big.
Yeah.
We were 14, and everyone was like, it was all adults, and we were like, oh shit, okay. And then they were like, right, take a bump, and we were like, cool.
No, I don't really want to do that much.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means? And we're like, right, do this, and showed us, and we were like, yeah, sure, cool. How hard can this be? How hard is this going to be?
Then you go and do it.
No worries. Oh my god. I was like, what? I was like, and then get off. I was like, yeah, sure, cool. Can't breathe. I was like, right, okay. So that was the first thing we did.
Oh god.
I was like, alright, sweet.
Yeah.
And then we spent a whole week there. We spent a week training. And I picked the technique up quite quickly.
Yeah.
But I was like this. You just got battered, and it hurt so much compared to what I thought it
Yeah.
Because you just don't realise. And then,
well, you don't, and that's a very common misconception in wrestling, isn't it? Is that it doesn't look. Is that people take the fact that it's staged and predetermined to mean that there's no harm, that it's fake. And then you go and take something and think, bloody hell.
Yeah, I remember one of my favourite things I ever did, and this is when I just got back from the training.
Yeah.
So they showed us a lot of sort of submission wrestling and stuff to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they did show me how to do a few things. I don't know if it was because I can't even remember if it's a bit hazy, to be honest. I remember it hurting. A lot of it hurting.
Yeah.
I remember not being very good at it and then being quite good at it compared to other people.
Yeah.
Who were struggling with the most basic stuff, like just locking up and stuff.
Yeah.
And then chain wrestling I always touched that quite quickly.
Yeah.
But I remember one of the kids at school, right dickhead, one of the sort of bully boys, found out that we were doing wrestling. So we come back from the training school and we carried on doing our backyardy stuff. Yeah. Because that's living the dream. And one of the guys at school was giving it mouthing off about how fake wrestling was. And it was in front of people, and he's a bit of a bully anyway, and I got a bit bullied at school, a few of my friends did. Nothing too crazy, just the same sort of standard things most people go through. Sometimes you got beat up, sometimes you didn't. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I was hard now, because I wrestled so hard. No, I was very much not hard, but this is a proud moment. And he goes, and he said something, and I went, I'll tell you what, if it's fake, give me your arm. And he went, whatever, mate, yeah. And he came and put his arm. I pulled him quickly in, locked him up in a hammer lock, but I put it up legit.
Oh, yeah.
And he went, and he was like, yeah, whatever. And then I just went, yeah, all right, mate. I cranked it. And he went, oh, and I dropped it straight to the floor.
Yeah.
And then I proper cranked it again, and all his mates were proper crying. They were like, no, I won't say it. They were like, saying stuff at him. And proper shouting, and he was like, so is it fake? And he was like, no, it's fake. He was like,
Well, that's one way of getting rid of the fake stigma, isn't it?
I mean, they still beat us up, but it's fine. I had one moment where had one moment of pride in them. I'd definitely pay for it in a few weeks, but I've still got that memory. So
that's very good memory if you don't want to proving someone that wrestling isn't as fake as they think. It's
either that or chops. You got the two options.
Oh God.
But no, it's good. I did that and started training, and then we started training with Future Championship Wrestling, which is still running today.
Oh yeah.
And that was fine. It was okay. It was all lazy training. I mean, like we turned up, and the training itself was fine, but the in terms of looking after your trainees, because we turn up, we'd take our money, and then we put me on a few shows, and then that was it. And then it stops, and I think that's what a lot of people are doing. There's no sort of care, and that is again a testament to why
you enjoy structure so much, isn't it?
Well, that's why I do love the structure and giving people stuff back.
Yeah.
But it's also that attitude. It's still there. There's always going to be people who do that and take advantage of people. Yeah. Because that's just life.
Yeah.
But there's so many people who take it so seriously, and rightly so. And that's what's helping the business grow.
Yeah, there's the people who don't treat it as a sort of I can get away with this because I'm in this position of power. Yeah. They look at it and think, okay, I'm in a position of power, but I'll need to work to stay there.
Yeah, and try and give back and try and help and nurture. Like for me, we do show once a month. We could easily just set up the ring early and go, hey, we've got a training school now. Yeah. And have people turn up. But my development is so, I'm just starting my journey, and I could do that. I could get in the ring and let people pay, £10 to come and roll around in the ring. And that's what a lot of people do, but I don't want to until I've got something to give back, until I've got something, not that I'm ever going to master it, but until I've developed to a point where I'm like, no, I really know how to condense this information down and pass it on.
I'm going to say, because it's not just about knowing how to wrestle, it's about knowing how to teach as well, isn't it?
That's it, and teach and pass things on and share it and understand what I'm trying to build, and then protect them. Protect my trainees, and to do that. One day, I mean, I love teaching. I've done like drama teaching and stuff, like summer camps. I've always loved doing that. So maybe, but not for a long time.
It's something that I mean, judging by what I've seen by you in the ring, and I'm not in any way saying this to suck up. First time I saw you, I honestly didn't know, so I was a complete neutral. I didn't have any sort of, I don't like this guy for any reason, and I was going in there neutral, and I was impressed by you instantly. So that's not me showing favoritism, no, that's me genuine saying, from what I've seen of you so far, I admit that I'm not seeing as much as I want to, because I can't go to many shows I want to, but what I've seen, I think you're better than you give yourself credit for.
Oh, thanks. I think that's very sweet. I think I just still feel like I'm learning. I'm
going to say is you don't stop learning in this business. You're always learning.
And I think I watch my stuff back and I pick bits that I like, and then I've written the rest of it apart. But that's the only way I'm going to get. I want to be I'm working hard and I want to be one of the best, and that's only going to happen by having the attitude that I've got. It might be, you might see me on shows and you might think, by comparison, I'm good, or I might be a little bit better than some of the other people in the shows. Yeah. But compared to where I want to be and where I know I can get, I'm nowhere near even close to where the level that I want to be at, and that's only going to come from time and working hard and doing the training and putting the work in.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you keep approaching this with the same mentality that you've been doing so far, you're going to get there in no time.
Thank you.
I mean, you've got a very good mindset about the whole, about not, I'm just trying to think of my word, about growing as a wrestler and knowing there's always room for improvement. You've got a very good mentality about that.
Thank you.
I think that's a very good thing for you to have. So I think we have overstayed our welcome ahead.
I might have overshot slightly.
Yeah, so
I have to do it in 2 parts.
Yeah, so this will be edited down a bit because there were some bits which you won't see, but yeah. So right now, but before we start there, obviously Pro Wrestling Subjective is on social media. You're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yep. So those links will be in the description of this video, all their stuff. You're on Facebook.
I certainly am.
Yeah.
Steve Valentino.
Yeah.
On Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
I haven't got my little blue tick yet, but it's on the way.
It's on the way. We're holding to that.
So follow me. Help me get the blue tick.
Yep. So those links will also be in the description. The links for my channel and my page will be in the description as well. So all that will be there. All the information about links, everything like that will be in there. So again, Steve, thank you very much for joining me. It's much appreciated.
Thank you.
This will be uploaded hopefully 6 o'clock Friday. That's in the evening, not the morning. If not, 6 o'clock Saturday, because there's a lot of editing got to do now. So
okay, you got to do this first bump, and then you click, and then you hook. There you go.
Yes. So we will see you next time, next month, with a new guest. So Steve, again, thank you very much, and we will catch you next time. Peace.
Sweet. Thanks, Sam.
You're welcome.